All right, today we're jumping into something fascinating from Morgan House's The Psychology of Money. We're going to talk about why, when it comes to getting wealthy, how you act is way, way more important than how smart you are. So let's start with a number, $8 million. Just look at that for a second. That is a life-changing amount of cash. Now, who do you think managed to put this away? A Wall Street genius? Some tech billionaire?
You're probably not going to believe it. This fortune was patiently, quietly built by a guy named Ronald Reed, a humble janitor. Seriously, he didn't win the lottery, he didn't get some crazy inheritance, he just saved what little he could and invested it, year after year, letting that incredible power of compounding do its magic for decades.
And that brings us to the big question for today, right? How on earth is that possible? How does a janitor end up outperforming some of the highest paid people in finance? Well, the answer really changes how you look at money.
And this quote from Morgan Housel just nails it. Financial success isn't some complex formula. It has almost nothing to do with your IQ. It's all about how you behave. It's a soft skill. So let's break down 5 of these key behaviors that make all the difference.
First up, we've got to understand the price of admission. You see, every great investment comes with a price tag, but it's not what you're probably thinking. It's not just about the money you put in.
Okay, think of it like buying a really nice watch. You've got 2 choices. You can walk in and pay the sticker price, or you could try to steal it and make a run for it. Now, we all know paying is the only sustainable option, right? Well, in investing, the price you pay for those amazing returns is volatility, the crazy ups and downs. Trying to get the gains without the downs by jumping in and out of the market, that's like trying to steal the watch. You might get away with it once, but eventually you're going to get burned.
So here's the deal. The real fee for incredible long-term returns isn't dollars, it's emotion. It's dealing with uncertainty and fear and regret. Just imagine you were an early investor in Netflix. To get those mind-blowing returns, you would have had to watch your investment get absolutely obliterated, down 80% in 2011. The real question is, could you have held on through that? That pain? That's the price of admission.
And hey, this isn't just for some risky tech stock. Even if you played it safe with a simple S&P 500 fund, you would have spent a combined 13 years with your portfolio down more than 20% and a full 8 months with it down over half. You got to remember, volatility isn't a fine you pay for messing up. It's the fee you pay for a ticket to the wealth building show.
All right, let's move on to principle number 2, because it builds on this. We're talking about the danger of the goalpost that just keeps moving. This is all about the toxic power of comparing yourself to others.
Look, capitalism is amazing at generating wealth, but it's even better at generating envy. So meet Bill. He's a doctor making $500,000 a year, solid top 1%er. He feels pretty good until he meets his neighbor, Stan, who's a CEO in the top 0.01%. But you know what? Stan feels kind of broke next to his buddy Michael Jordan. And even MJ might feel a little small when Jeff Bezos walks into the party.
It's a ladder that never ends. And the lesson is pretty simple. There is always a bigger fish. The fastest way to destroy your financial peace is to constantly look at what someone else has. The only way to win this game is to refuse to play. You have to decide for yourself what enough looks like.
Okay, our third idea is a really powerful one. No one is crazy. People do all sorts of things with their money that might look absolutely insane to us, but you know what? From their own unique perspective, shaped by their own experiences, it makes perfect sense.
Get this, the lowest income folks in the US spend, on average, 4 times more of their money on lottery tickets than the highest income groups. Now, if you've got a healthy savings account and a 401k, that sounds completely irrational. But let's try to see it from a different angle. Imagine you're living paycheck to paycheck. There's no emergency fund, no clear path to a big promotion. You can't just save up for a new car or a nice vacation. For you, a $2 lottery ticket isn't some statistical calculation of expected value. It is the only affordable way to buy a dream of a different life. From that point of view, it's not crazy at all.
All right, number 4. We have to face a hard truth here. Expect the unexpected. The handful of events that truly shape the markets, the ones that matter most, are, by definition, the ones nobody sees coming.
Yeah, these are what we call black swan events. Think about the 2008 financial meltdown or the COVID-19 pandemic. They seem to come out of nowhere, they have a massive impact, and it's only afterward, with hindsight, that we convince ourselves they were predictable. So if you can't predict them, what are you supposed to do? The answer is you prepare, you don't predict. This chart shows you exactly why.
If you invested in the S&P 500 for 20 years and just did nothing, you'd have a 291% return. Not bad. But if you panicked, sold, and missed just the 4 best days in that entire 2-decade span, your return gets crushed, down to 164%. The goal isn't to be a fortune teller, it's to be durable enough to survive the chaos.
And that brings us to our fifth and final big idea. We have to be aware of the seduction of pessimism. Our brains are literally hardwired to give more weight to bad news than to good news.
I mean, think about it. Pessimism sounds intelligent and serious. Optimism, well, that often just sounds like naive wishful thinking. This is just an old evolutionary tick. Our brains evolved to treat threats as way more urgent than opportunities. But in the world of money, that's a huge blind spot because disasters happen fast and loud, like a market crash, while progress just grinds along, slowly and almost invisibly over decades.
So let's wrap this all up into a quick playbook. Number 1, pay the price. Volatility is the fee for admission, not a penalty. 2, know your goalpost. Figure out what enough means to you. 3, no one is crazy. Just focus on playing your own game. 4, expect the unexpected. Always prepare, never try to predict. And number 5, beware that pessimistic voice in your head. Progress is slow, but it's incredibly powerful.
Ultimately, it all comes back to this one idea. Your success with money is a soft skill. It has so much less to do with what you know, and so much more to do with how you behave. So, the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at this list, what is the one behavior you can start to change starting today?